Ian, can I firstly ask you your thoughts on the game at Doncaster and how the first 6 rounds of in the Championship have gone as a whole?
Yeah, we're particularly disappointed, to be honest, with the Doncaster game. I think we got ourselves into a really good position. We felt we'd worked out a very clear strategy on how to break them down, and it really went according to plan in the first half. It was 18-11 at half time, but to be perfectly honest, when we reviewed the game, we think we really could have been much further ahead at half time. And we let them in for a very, very soft score. So that was disappointing, but I suppose what we were particularly disappointed with was how we came out in the second half, and we conceded within the first 3 minutes. We had a yellow card just before half time, and 14 we didn't cope with the first 3 minutes of the second half well enough, and as you know, we had two further yellow cards, and that's what we've highlighted this week. Our discipline was a serious issue, and how we coped under pressure, and we should have been able to just I suppose keep ourselves in a position, keep ourselves in the game until we had 15 back on the field, but the yellow cards went back to back, and we struggled quite badly.
And how about in general over the 6 games? What are your thoughts on how it's gone so far?
Look, to be honest, we would have expected, our expectations were to be in the top half of the table, so we're disappointed where we stand in the table, but realistically we know we've had a lot of challenges around injury, and we've had double figures of I suppose of our primary squad, of our main players that have been out, and we're just working our way back from that now. And I thought we worked ourselves into a good position in the Doncaster game, especially with a couple of forwards back, and it really bolstered our set piece, and that's what put us in a good position. And in this league it's vital, and if we can keep those forwards back and healthy, I think that'll make us really, really competitive heading into the next stage. But it's really, really important now we focus game to game, and really we got to put a couple of games back to back and establish a bit of consistency and to push ourselves up the table.
And how much of a distraction or welcome is the B&I Cup from a coach's point of view?
It's incredibly welcome at the moment. We've had an awful lot of players that have had to play 80 minutes back to back. We've some players that have played 80 minutes. That's far from ideal. We've had front rows that have played 3, 4, 5 games back to back, and that isn't sustainable, as we've seen with players that broke over the last while. So it gives us an opportunity now to go a little bit deeper into our squad, especially this weekend, and we've a number of the players from NTU. We already had quite a few that had made their debuts. We have a few more that will make their first appearances, and hopefully will be bolstered by a couple of loan players, which over the next 5 to 6 weeks would be really important with the couple of injuries that we picked up in the last 2 games.
The past couple of seasons, it's not been a competition that the club's particularly done well in. Do you aim to change that this season?
Well, at the start of the season, when we set out our goals, we targeted the B&I Cup as a competition we wanted to progress in, and that's still our aim. We want to progress out of our group, and that means starting with a win at home this weekend. The reality is our squad has been stretched very thin, as I've alluded to, and it's really, really important that we manage players because it's a long season. And this week we have rotated in a number of players, but they're players that have trained really well in the pre-season, have been waiting for the opportunity, and you'll see maybe 3-4 players from NTU that particularly in the back line that will get their opportunity now, and I'm really excited to see how they do. We've also been fortunate enough with our link with clubs to get another couple of players in on dual reg, and we need to get them into the squad in the next 2 weeks, because obviously we've had a key injury at 10, 15, and Villy is out for a couple of weeks with his calf as well. So it's a great opportunity for those players to come in, make an impact, and make themselves available for selection in 3 weeks' time against Richmond. Having said all that, this is a standalone competition. It's a competition I've enjoyed being involved in the last number of years, and as you said, we haven't been too successful. It's really important we build some confidence and build some momentum over the next couple of weeks, so that we can progress in the B&I and face into the next round of the league campaign with a bit of momentum.